Hello everyone. Today we'll be studying our unit 10th of our course, that is financial statements. A farmer or a businessman generally has three options for analyzing his farm. First is a balance sheet, second is an income statement, and third is a cash flow statement. Different things are used for different purposes. We'll be studying only first two, balance sheet and income statement, and we'll be skipping the cash flow statement because it is not in your course outline, but it is also quite easy to understand. First, let's start with balance sheet. What is a balance sheet? It has another name that is called as net worth statement. Okay, balance sheet is generally made to get to know your position, financial position of your farm or your business at any point of time. Okay, we'll be skipping all this part and then coming back after knowing what are the different components, and we'll come back here. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Balance sheet has essentially two parts. First is assets, second is liabilities. Let's see what are assets. Asset is something that has a market value, which you have and which you can take to the market, sell it and get cash. That is your asset. There are three different types of assets: current assets, intermediate assets, long term assets. Current assets are, let's get to understand what is the term called liquidity. Liquidity means cash. Okay, simple. Current assets are most liquid. That means you can go to the market, sell them and convert them into cash very quickly. They don't take time. What are the example? You can sell seed to your fellow farmers, agrochemicals to your fellow farmers. You have cash in your hand, you don't need to convert. You have bills, you sold something to somebody and you're supposed to receive that money in a very small span of time. You have livestock which is meant for sale, which is very easy to sell. Okay, so these are your current assets which you can take into the market, sell and get cash. Second comes intermediate assets. As you can understand, intermediate means they take intermediate amount of time, that is they take some time. If you want to sell them, they'll not sell very easily, but they may take some time, 15 days, a month, to sell and get cash. Okay, get converted into cash. Machinery of any type, equipments of any type, and livestock. Okay, this is the livestock meant for sale purposes. This was not meant for sale, but you are selling it because you want to convert it into cash. You are in desperate need of money. Then comes long term assets, which take a lot of time. These are also called as non liquid. Lot of time to sell and get converted into cash. Let's say you decided, what are the examples? Land and farm buildings. Let's say you decided to sell your land. It's not very easy to sell your land because the buyer does not have cash of such a large amount readily available. It might take many years, several months for you to be able to sell that asset and get it converted into cash. Okay, so assets of three types: current, intermediate and long term, based on their ease with which you can convert them into cash. Second part of the balance sheet is liabilities. When you owe money to others, it's your liability. Let's say you borrowed money from somebody, you took a loan from a bank, from PNB. You're supposed to repay it after some point of time. Okay, so it is your liability. Loans are of different types. They can be categorized into long term, intermediate and current. Okay, so let's start. There are again three types of liabilities: current liabilities, intermediate liabilities and long term liabilities. Current liabilities, they are supposed to be repaid within 1 to 3 cropping seasons, that is 6 to 18 months. The best example for it is Kisan Credit Card Loan, which is used for meeting operating expenses. Operating means seed, agrochemicals you are supposed to buy for raising your crops. Okay, feed for your animals, and so let's say labor of different types, machine, man, and etc. Okay, earlier it was given only for raising crops. Now from the last 2 years it has now started to be given for livestock of all types: buffaloes, cow, sheep, goat, poultry, and also for aquatic animals, raising aquatic animals. Then comes intermediate liabilities. You are supposed to repay them within a period of 18 months to 5 years. There are different types of loan which are supposed to be repaid in such a long period of time. That is machinery loans. Machinery includes tractor, thresher, implements, combine harvester, reaper, baler, and livestock loan. Buffaloes, sheep, piggeries. These livestock loans are for buying buffaloes, sheep, and piggeries. But the KCC is for meeting the operating expenses of raising buffaloes. Okay. Then comes long term liabilities. You are supposed to repay them within a very long period of time, 5 years to 20 years. The annual there might be annual installments, that is one yearly, okay, or bi-yearly, that means 6 months. Okay, so what are these types of loan? For installing a tube well at your farm, for land reclamation. Let's say your land was kind of undulating, you have to make it straight. That will take a lot of effort, lot of money. So it is for land reclamation. Plus your soils may be, can say, not of optimum pH, so you need to give them chemical treatment. Okay, this again takes a lot of money and lot of time. So these loans are big. An orchard loan. Orchard loan is generally repayable after 5 years because the income starts after 5 years. Okay, so these are the examples of liabilities. So these are major two parts: assets and liabilities. Both are of current, intermediate, and long term type. Understood? Then comes an example. On the left side, this net worth statement is a standard net worth statement. On the left side you will be assets, and on the right there will be liabilities. We will be again dividing them into parts: current first, intermediate second, third, long term. Current liabilities first, intermediate second, long term liabilities third. This is hypothetical. Okay, that means this is just made out of my mind, nothing else. I took also some idea from a book. Current assets. What are the types of current assets? Cash in hand, cash in bank, your deposits which you can go and take out easily. Feed and grains which you have for different purposes, but you can also sell them. They might be for selling. Okay, they might be for consumption at your home, but when you need money you can easily sell them and get cash. And the crop that is standing, which is about to be harvested, about to be harvested. Okay, and this is the value that the farmer, let's say this is the income statement of farmer A. Okay, farmer A has these current assets, and this is the value. He has 15,000 in cash, 50,000 in bank, 25,000 worth of feed and grains, and standing crop worth of 2 lakh rupees. Then comes intermediate assets. What he has, let's say he has a tractor, harrow, and a rotavator, and a reaper. Okay, and some other small implements who have a combined value of 7 lakh rupees, and livestock of 25,000 rupees. Let's say he has only 2 cows, milking cows. Long term assets, he has land that is worth 50 lakh rupees, farm building that is worth 3 lakh rupees, tube well 75,000. Other farm investments, let's say he has made a boundary wall, and fencing, gates, pavements. This is worth 1,25,000 rupees. So the total assets is 67,40,000 rupees. Okay, same way there are liabilities. He owes money, he needs to repay money to different people. He needs to repay money to PNB. For KCC he took for raising crops, that is worth 2 lakh rupees. Fertilizers and seeds, he bought these fertilizers and seeds, let's say from village Artia, and he has not paid for that. So he is supposed to pay for it, that means it is a liability, okay, for 15,000 and 24,000. Then comes intermediate liabilities, he is supposed to pay it between 2 to 5 years. What is it? Loan on machinery, let's say that tractor was on loan and some of the machinery, that is rotavator, was also on loan. That loan was 3,50,000 rupees. Loan on livestock, 2,25,000 rupees, okay. No, it was 2,50,000 rupees, so he has 2 more buffaloes also. This is the remaining amount of the loan. Let's see, net worth statement or balance sheet is for current position. So whatever is the remaining amount of loans, the current remaining amount of loan, not the actual which was taken earlier. Let's say he took a loan of 5 lakh rupees and he has repaid already 1,50,000 rupees. Right now he is supposed to pay only 3,50,000. So he will be writing this thing only. What is the current situation? Long term liability, let's say he also has an orchard, which the loan of which was 4,50,000 rupees. He is supposed to pay it after a long period of time or within a long period of time, 5 to 20 years. His total liabilities are, his total payment towards others is 8,14,000 rupees. So let's see what is net worth. Net worth is simply a formula, total assets minus total liabilities. The value here comes out to be 15,26,000. This is a very good situation for a farmer if he has this kind of net worth statement, or can say this kind of current financial position. So let's go back to our slide. Now you get it. Shows balance sheet shows if the assets of a farmer are more or less than liabilities, okay, that is net worth. Net worth is assets minus liabilities total. Net worth is greater than 0, that means business is solvent. If it is less than 0, that means assets greater than liabilities, business is solvent. Solvency here means ability of someone to pay their own debt. Simple. It is your capacity. It shows if you are able to repay your debt. जो लोन आपके ऊपर है उसे आप repay कर सकते हैं या नहीं. This is solvency. Okay. So as you can see, net worth value, higher the value, better for business. Simple. More and more and more assets, less and less and less liabilities, that is good for you. And if net worth is less than 0, that is assets, the value of assets is less than liabilities, that means you are in a very precarious situation and you should start worrying. Okay, so this is all about what is net worth statement, what are the components: assets, current, intermediate, long term; liabilities, current, intermediate, long term. An example, what was the net worth of this farm? 59 lakh rupees. Then there are some ratios for analyzing this balance sheet. I'll be touching only 3. There are 3 more, but we'll not be touching them. First one is current ratio, second working ratio, third is net capital ratio. So the formula, it is shown here. Okay, current ratio is simply the value of current assets divided by the value of current liabilities. Same is for working ratio, or this is also called as intermediate ratio. Value of current plus intermediate assets divided by value of current plus intermediate liabilities. Net capital ratio is about total assets divided by total liabilities. Now what does it show? Meaning, it will show you immediate solvency, that is, a value of current ratio should always be more than 1. If it is more than 1 or higher, that means your farm is doing very good. You have the value of current assets is much more than current liabilities. It will show immediate solvency. That means within 1 year of time, you will be easily repaying all the liabilities, all the loans that you have on yourself. You have the position, you are in a position to pay them without any effort. Okay, higher the ratio, the better. Let's say if someone has current ratio of more than 1, he does not pay loan. That means he has the money but he is not paying it. What does it make him? It makes him willful, जानबूझ के default करना, willful defaulter. Okay, then comes working ratio. I have told you the formula. It indicates the financial stability or solvency over an intermediate period of time, 2 to 5 years, whether he will be able to, can say, sustain or repay his liabilities within this period. Working ratio indicates the financial stability of an intermediate period of time, and net capital ratio, it shows the overall position in the long term how you will be standing. Okay, that is long term financial stability, long term solvency, whether in the long term you will be able to repay all your loans, whatever may be the type. Okay, so higher the values, better for the business. All of them, they should be greater than 1, all of them, and higher the better. Let's see farmer A and farmer B. Net capital ratio, there are two farms, we are comparing them. Total assets by total liabilities is the formula. Farmer A has total assets of 40,000, total liabilities of 10,000. Farmer B has total assets of 10,000, total liabilities of 10,000. So the net worth of in the both the cases is 10,000. Net worth is total assets minus total liabilities. So farmer A also has 10,000 net worth and farmer B also has 10,000 net worth. So are these farms comparable in any way? Yes, they are comparable. Let's compare them using net capital ratio. Who is better, in a better position in spite of having same net worth? Farmer A has net capital ratio of 1.3 and farmer B has net capital ratio of 2.0. What does it mean? Net capital ratios indicate the farmer B is in much safer position than farmer A. How? I think this slide is a little bit of a problem, is there? See how farmer A is in a better how farmer B is in a better position. Let's just read it out here. A decline of 25% in prices of major assets will wipe out the margin of safety. Assets, that means the 40,000 value of total assets. If the value of those all the assets, let's say the prices of all the assets goes down by 25%, that is only 10,000 rupees. Margin of safety, that is the value earlier it was 1.3, the margin of safety was 30%. You can see in the green box. Now if the prices of his assets drop down by 25%, his margin of safety is gone, because the value of total assets will be 30,000, total liabilities will also be 30,000, and net capital ratio will be 1. But in case of farmer B, the margin of safety, see in the green box, is 50%. Alright, so the prices need to go down at least 50%. Prices of his assets need to go down at least 50%. That is, his assets will become from 20,000 to 10,000 to wipe out the margin of safety. So you can see net worth, both are having same 10,000, but who is more safe? Farmer B. And what tells us that? What is the ratio that is telling us that? That is net capital ratio. You can even compare the safety or safe position of a farmer, and this is quite helpful in knowing about it, this ratio. Let's go again to the slideshow. Now comes income statement. First part of our lecture is done, balance sheet. what are its parts, and what are the ratios used for analyzing it, and what is its meaning and how is it helpful. Okay, then comes income statement, which also has another name, profit loss statement. Balance sheet was made at a point of time. Okay, it shows you the current position of your farm. Income statement is made for a period. It can be made yearly, annually, bi-yearly or quarterly. Okay, it is made at the end of that period. What was the position 1 year ago and what is the position now? You can compare two income statements and get to know whether you have gained or not, whether you have made money or you have lost money. Made after the completion of the period constitutes of three parts. Just like the assets, liabilities and net worth, it has receipts, that means money income by sale of goods produced or items by the farmers. Receipts is, you can just think like that, the money you will be getting by selling the things you are producing. Okay, these are receipt, the money received. Expenses, जो खर्च होगा, that costs you will be bearing to produce those things. Whatever you are producing, you might be producing only crops, milks, eggs, honey, etc. So you will be spending some money to produce those things. Those will be expenses. Net income will be just the formula, receipts minus expenses, and you can just easily guess it. If you are earning more money than spending, then there is a profit. If you are earning less money than spending, then there is a loss. There are some useful terms, so you will be able to understand what comes on the next slide. What do you mean by gross? Gross income, you might have heard. Gross income, okay, gross domestic product. It simply means whatever you have. Let's say you are selling wheat, you have 20 quintals of wheat and the price is 2000 rupees. So 40,000 is your gross income. Alright, we have not deducted any kind of expenses from it, so gross is without any kind of deduction, simply quantity you are selling and price of it. Depreciation, let's say you bought a bicycle and you're using it for the last 2 years. You bought it for rupees 10,000. Alright, you bought a bicycle for 10,000 rupees. You have been using it, you have used it for, let's say, 1000 kilometers in 2 years, and you have had 2 minor accidents. Okay, you have changed the tires. Okay, plus the paint is faded now. So due to use, because you have used it for 1000 kilometers for 2 years, there was some wear and tear. That means something that needed repair. You have changed your tires because it is getting old. Your paint is faded. This also comes under wear and tear. Now the value of this bicycle, if you are going to sell it, is for just, let's say, 5,000 rupees. Okay, I don't think it will sell for 5,000 rupees, but let's say it will sell for 5,000 rupees. Where did the value of 5,000 rupee go? 5,000 rupees value vanished. Okay, this is called as depreciation. Depreciation is a reduction in value of a machine, that can be a tractor, any kind of implement, due to its use, wear and tear, and obsolescence means it is now old technology. Okay, let's say you are using a tractor of very old model model of 2000. Its fuel consumption was very high. Alright, and now the tractors which are coming, their fuel consumption is low and they have the same draft power, that is pulling power. So that is kind of an old technology you have. Due to use, wear and tear, and obsolescence, that is your thing getting old, simply old. New designs of bicycles are available. This is called as depreciation, the loss in value due to these things. Okay, appreciation is increase in the value of things. Okay, let's say you bought a buffalo for rupees 40,000. a year ago it was in a very poor shape, it had less weight, you fed it correctly, and now it has a female calf. Whenever a buffalo has a female calf, its value generally increases, and because you fed it correctly, its milk increased, its looks became better, so the value has increased from 40,000 to now 90,000 rupees. So there is an appreciation. Okay, appreciation means increase in value. Rental value of land, it's simply the rent. If you are renting your land out to someone else, what rent you would get, what amount of money would you get? If you let's say 1 year you don't want to cultivate your land, if you want to just rent it out, ठेके पे देना बोलते हैं आजकल जैसे, so the money you will be getting for it is, let's say 20,000 per acre. So this is the rental value of land, rent for field if it was given to someone else to cultivate. Okay, then there are management charges. A farmer is also a manager. Farmer is working on his own field. Okay, so we need to give that work a value. He is also performing different tasks. Let's say he is spraying, he is using the tractor to plow his field, and he is also managing his family and his farm in many other ways. So the wages for that management work done by the farmer on his own farm are taken as management charges. All right, they should also value something. No, farmer is doing everything he can, everything he possibly can on his farm. He is supposed to earn money by selling only his crop, let's say, but he does not earn money by selling his crop, but because the prices are down, his hard work should not be considered of any without any value. Okay, so whatever the work he does on the farm for management, it should be given some value, that is wages, or you can say just can consider it salary or anything, but it should be given some value. Then comes land revenue. In some states, tax is to be paid per acre of the land by the farmer. Operating expenses and fixed expenses, money spent on inputs for producing crops, eggs, milk, whatever you want to produce. Operating expenses increase with the production. Okay, fixed expenses, let's say land revenue, you have to pay the tax even if you don't produce anything, right? And let's say insurance on crops, now it has been made voluntary, but earlier you are supposed to pay insurance money if you have a KCC on your land. If you are not producing anything, they don't care, they'll just deduct the premium out of your account. Plus, let's say if you are not producing anything, you have to bear what? Rental value. You are not producing, no producing, okay, and no lending of land, lending, or you can say renting. That means how much loss do you have? 20,000 rupees per acre. This you have to bear. You might produce anything or you might not produce anything. Okay, so there are some charges which a farmer has to bear even if he produces any amount, 0 or 100. Alright, let's now understand a hypothetical income statement. I have divided it in two parts because the slide was quite big, the table was quite big. See, first part is receipts, second part is expenses, second 2.1 is operating expenses, 2.2 here is fixed expenses. Alright, and then comes total fixed expenses and total expenses, operating plus fixed. Okay, then third part comes to be net income, that is gross receipts, or you can say just simple receipts minus expenses. Alright, this is the formula. Expenses are of two type again, operating, as you can see the formula up in the upper line, gross or fixed. Let's go with the contents of this table. First is receipts. that is he has sold, he has been cultivating paddy and wheat. By selling paddy and wheat he has got 1,45,000 in the last 6 months. Let's say it is for, no, it is for 1 year, for last 1 year, that is 2019-20. okay, Bharat Singh is the farmer. okay, he's also been selling milk. He has sold milk worth of 43,000 rupees in the last 1 year. From poultry he has earned 25,000 rupees. From sale of seed he has earned rupees 30,000 rupees. He has got some gifts on different social festivals, or can say occasions, worth 10,000 rupees. So his gross cash income, how much is it? 2,50,000, and it's, I think, 2,53,000 rupees here. okay, this gross cash income that he has got in the last 1 year. okay, let's consider it 2,53,000. Even if the sum does not match, don't worry about it. okay, his cash income was 2,53,000, and appreciation in the value of assets. Appreciation, as I told you, increase in the value of assets, that is his land has become more expensive, the value of land has increased, his livestock value has increased. So this will also be considered in receipts. okay, that is worth 2,50,000. so the total income, gross income, will be 5,03,000 rupees. These are the total receipts made by him in the last 1 year. Where did he spend his money? Seeds, agrochemicals, fertilizers, farmyard manure, this much. Veterinary aid for his animals, feed for his animals, poultry animals, 20,000 rupees. He has paid for irrigation charges, electricity, machine labor, bullock labor, that may be hired or his self. Diesel charges might also be there. Okay, that was for 28,000. This is for both the crops, poultry and livestock combined. Alright, then he has this much, this is also important to understand. Interest on working capital, that is, interest is taken as 4% on the above 3 items, that is this much of money, 88,000 plus 20,000 plus 28,000. How much is it? 96, 116, 1,36,000. Alright, let's say the approximate amount of interest on these 3 items is 5,200 rupees. Why do we take this interest on operating expenses? We have to take care of this interest because we have this money and we chose to spend it on our farming activity. Otherwise we could have used this money to lend to somebody and earn interest. Least I am considering is 4. Let's say you will be earning 4% interest. I am using 4% because 4% is the rate of interest charged on KCC of a farmer. That's why if the generally in the in the villages the money is not given at 4% at all. It is given at least at 18% or 24%, which is called as 1 rupees per 100. That means per 100 per month. That means 12 rupees per 100 in 1 year. This is called as 1 rupee saikda. Okay, 12 rupees per 100 means 12%. So whenever somebody says 1 rupees per saikda in the local language, that means 12% interest annually. 1.5 rupee per saikda becomes 18%, 2 rupee saikda becomes 24%. Alright, just keep it in mind, it is important for you guys. So the total operating expenses are 1,36,000 plus 5,200, 1,41,200 rupees. Let's go to the next slide. Now comes the second part, fixed expenses. Depreciation, can say reduction in value of assets due to use, wear and tear, and obsolescence, because your technology has become obsolete. Land revenue, the taxes you need to pay to the government, 2000 rupees. Interest on fixed capital. Alright, again, just like the interest on working capital, it was taken as 4%, but interest on fixed capital will be taken as 8%. Rental value of land, if you were supposed to can say rent out your land to somebody and not cultivate yourself, you would have got 50,000 rupees. Management charges, the management work that was done by the farmer for producing all these things will be taken as 10% of the total expenses above. Total expenses, it's a total of fixed plus operating. Alright, these all total expenses will be this much, fixed 10% of fixed plus operating expenses in total. Let's say these are just hypothetical values, don't go with why this sum is not matching and these kind of things. You don't need to worry about it. So this will be 60,000 rupees. Total fixed expenses become 1,39,000 rupees, and total expenses become 2,90,200 rupees. Okay, that is operating plus fixed. Now net income becomes gross income minus total operating expenses minus total fixed expenses. 5,03,000 minus 1,51,200 minus 1,39,000. The value becomes 2,13,000 rupees. So in the last 1 year he has made this much of income. Okay, who has made? Bharat Singh, in the year 2019-20. I think this will be all. Let's go through it once again. Financial statements, two types: balance sheet, income statement. Balance sheet also called a net worth statement. Two parts: assets, current, intermediate, long term, based on the ease with which you can convert them into cash or liquidity. Then comes liabilities, current, intermediate, long term. Assets on the left, liabilities on the right. And then net worth, total assets minus total liabilities. There are three ratios: current, working, net capital ratio, immediate solvency, intermediate solvency, and financial stability or solvency over a long period of time. In the example here, you can understand how net capital ratio is important in understanding or comparing two farm businesses having the same net worth value. Income statement, or that is called as profit loss statement. These are made for a period of time that has already gone. There are three parts: receipts, expenses, and net income. Receipts should also always be more than expenses, some useful terms. Income statement, first part receipts, second part expenses. Expenses are of two types: operating and fixed. Then comes total expenses, then comes net income. This will be all for your unit 10. Okay, so just thank you for your time. If you have any kind of doubts, you can always WhatsApp me. Let's say we'll fix a time. Okay, WhatsApp me and on my number, and we'll be fixing a time for discussing doubts. You have to fix a time. Just talk with me on WhatsApp and we'll be fixing a time for this purpose. Alright, thank you very much for the day. Have a happy day. Thank you.